You are
His parents, William Tyrell. His dad, oh, sorry. And this is his mom, Rosanna Tyrell.
Are you familiar with what he did today?
We're familiar with what they said. We don't agree that that's right. We also agree that he's being held accountable for things that aren't really applicable in this case. You know, and
I'm asking him not to use drugs or alcohol.
I know.
That's all I'm asking him to do. And he's constantly testing positive, and now he's taking a Whizzinator into the room.
Well,
That's wrong.
it's wrong.
Weird.
And we don't
He
want.
can be charged criminally for that. That's an offense in and of itself. Falsifying your drug test, it's a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing another 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
What about, I mean, our concern and his concern is simple. This girl,
I'm not,
I know.
no, we're not talking about the case. We're talking,
What is the case?
no, we're talking about the ability to remain clean and sober, first and foremost. We're not even talking about the case at this point. We're only talking about remaining clean and sober. He's repeatedly been unable to do that. And now he's trying to fool us.
Well, he has an issue that we know.
May I
You
say
know.
something wrong?
Okay. I think what needs to happen is I think the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to your lawyer before you make any statements.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I'm going to say is that I'm extremely upset, disappointed, and taking you into custody. You know, you've repeatedly failed to appear for court. You've repeatedly tested positive for a lot of substances, and now you're trying to fool us yet again. It's unacceptable, and there has to be accountability, and you need to accept that you can't continue to do what you're doing, Mr. Terrell. You're digging yourself into a hole that you cannot crawl out of. This monkey on your back will be there for the rest of your life, and if you don't get out of it now, you're going to be 70 years old with the continual on your back, in and out of custody. You're so messed up right now, you can barely open your eyes, man.
Your Honor,
And I don't know if you're enabling it or you're closing your eyes because of the love that you have as a father. But-
I've been fighting with is he has severe ADHD and severe Tourette syndrome. And we put him in a recovery center, and we told them, we sent him the documentation. They told us every day they were getting the medication they ever did. Never did, until they finally refused to answer my phone calls because I kept calling him up what he needs to be on. I said, this ADHD medicine robs him of his chemicals and his dopamine chemicals in his brain. And he goes, he uses drugs to put them back. And I said, the Tourette's makes him not make good decisions. It's not a good combination. And they said, yes, that's the case in almost many drug addicts with ADHD. And they wouldn't fix it, right? And so I got pretty upset with him because he got out and he had a pill bottle that he got the day he got out. They had never given him any pills the entire time he was there for this thing. So I agree that it's a bad problem and a wrong problem, but I also agree it's not entirely his fault because he's got a chemical imbalance that nobody is addressing. And never has. He's had this since he was a young child. They've addressed his Tourette's, but they've never addressed the ADHD. And I didn't know until I spoke to a doctor a week ago, or a couple of weeks ago, before he went into the rehab. And the doctor said, they said, so he's got ADHD. And I said, yeah. And he says, does he have a problem with drugs? And I said, yeah. And he goes, why isn't he on Ritalin? And I go, what do you mean? He says, that's what Ritalin is for. And if he was speaking apparently from personal experience, so we tried to get him on Ritalin. They wouldn't do that because it's a substance itself. And they said that he could be abusing that substance. So we tried to get him on a secondary substance that's non-abusive. We had fought for weeks, months, and we can't. We finally got him a prescription just as he's now out and back in trouble. So I only beg that we don't want him on drugs. Right, but we understand that maybe there's some underlying compassionate issues, right? And I mean, I'd like to beat this on the end, but that doesn't work.
And it pains me because I think that as a father and as a mother, due to love, a lot of times, and I don't know necessarily you, but people tend to kind of shut their eyes and become naive to the fact that they're using, and I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about cocaine. I'm talking about meth.
Be careless. He's got a license for marijuana.
So regardless,
any heavy drugs, the cocaine or anything that's going to cause him a lifelong problem, no. I want him off of that stuff. But he's been in rehab 3 or 4 times. That doesn't really work. So I don't know what does work.
you got to want it.
gotta want
One of
it.
the main things is you got to want it. But be that as it may, he's trying to fool us, and it's unacceptable. And there has to be accountability for it. I can't just let him go when you're using a Whizzinator to try to fool us. It's unacceptable, and there has to be accountability. And the problem is that I think that what we need to do now is have him evaluated by our clinicians to see how we go forward. So what I'd like to do is, while he's in custody now, I can have it done in a very expedited manner. I can have it done within, today's what, Tuesday? We can hopefully have a report back by Friday to see, at the latest Monday, to see how we go forward. Our clinicians can talk to him, and if he's honest, figure a way to go about doing this. And I'm going to tell you now, while I have him here, I can pay everything for you, so you don't have to pay for a dime. If you're on the outside, though, I can't pay for it.
We can forward you doctor's records and things like that.
My only concern and the only thing I want now is our clinicians to be able to speak to him to see where we go forward. Mr. Terrell, I'm going to have you what's called TRAS to see, it's an evaluation to see where we go from here. If we get this TRAS back and it tells me that your little bunny's jumping in the woods and that there's no problems, then I know that you weren't honest, and I'm going to make you go do it right back again. And we're going to continue to do it until you're honest. But, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't be like this forever. At some point, you're going to be a habitual and you're looking at 25 to life.
I
But
forgot
thank you
what
for
it
your
is.
patience.
Thank you for your patience, but
You don't have to. And I'm really, truly sorry
he
that
did man up and come in. He wasn't going to. We had to fight with him and beg with him. He didn't.
to come in.
He didn't want to.
Of course, no one wants to go to jail.
And because he said, I said, he's not going to put you in jail. He goes, yes, he will. And I said, no, he has a heart. He's not going to put you in jail. He knows that you have a problem. The problem is the issue, stopping the thing that's causing this is the
Your
issue.
last name, Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
We've tried that. I gave him to you.
But he didn't, we tried it, but like I said, the underlying cause, which we've only just recently found, or
They've
found that
never
it may,
treated
they've
the
never
symptoms.
treated.
I understand.
And
I
so here
understand.
he's untreated and still being treated like it's a normal case, and it's not really.
I tried. I've given him back to you guys. I've asked him repeatedly to stay sober and not use, and he continues to do so. No matter how many times I give him to you, it's
That's being
going
caused by something.
to continue, and you have to realize it. And if you think that just him saying, okay, I'm going to stop, or the Ritalin is going to make it stop,
It has for many people.
it may have. And yes, it may have.
So how long are you putting him in for?
I don't know. For now, I would like to have him TRAS to see where they go. My feeling is that they're probably going to say that he needs inpatient rehab,
Which he's already been to.
not in the jail.
Yes, he has. You sentenced him to that last year. WIMAC.
We didn't put him in WIMAC. Did we do WIMAC with him?
But they never actually treated the symptoms either.
So we have other, if WIMAC didn't work, we have other facilities that we can go to. And we've got at least 3 to 4 different facilities, and we can continue to put them into each facility until it takes.
He has a
Wow. This is the moment where Judge Fleischer takes off the gloves. That line, "You're going to be 70 years old with that monkey on your back," that's not just a lecture. That's a prophecy based on decades on the bench. He's seen this exact scenario play out 1,000 times. Notice he's not just punishing the son. He's talking directly to the parents.
This felony case that this case is associated with is next week. Yeah. Of which
So
we're
will they
hoping,
release-
we're hoping gets thrown out of court.
They have also facilities as well to help treat as well. We both do, and we both have facilities. They have more resources than we do because there are more serious cases up there, so they have quite a bit of more resources.
It does look like he went to YMAC, but that's mainly to address like this criminal attitudes and thinking. Now,
It was for drugs because he was on probation for drugs. That's why he was.
No. What she's saying is that
the program that he went to was supposed to address like this thinking, attitudes, and things. So now we're gonna assess him now that we know that he has mental health issues and as well as substance use problems. So,
His went last time because of substance abuse. That was what it was for.
no, but she's saying no.
she said no, but this time.
Okay.
Well, I think, Judge, they might be referring to the deferred was adjudicated based off of drug violations. He tested positive for many times for drugs. That's why his guilt was adjudicated in that case in this court. I think that may be what they're referring to.
Yeah, it was because he was on probation for drugs. And they actually, put him in there. And then, when he came, he couldn't even get his lawyer when he came to court. He got a court-appointed lawyer when he had a lawyer who was paid for. Twice. And it's very frustrating to us that he doesn't seem to be getting fair treatment. It seems like he's being held as an example and be given as an example and not being given fair treatment. And
How is he not being given fair treatment?
well,
Tell me.
I just really wanted, my wife is not going to be happy if I.
Well, no, but it seems like you're blaming me for the situation,
No, sir. What we're trying to say that he never got an assessment for the mental issues.
And they were told, over and over again. I wrote
They.
the court officials, the probation officers, everyone was told that he had these issues and problems. They did nothing about it. Okay, his attorney brought paperwork to the court, Mike Mull.
Yeah, just we gave him the paperwork with all the.
Nobody did
tests and
anything
stuff
about
was
it.
wrong with him.
So we keep
So-
going, you guys keep blaming this stuff, but you just keep holding him up as an example and punishing him, and we never try to find out what's the problem.
Put people in jail when they violate conditions, when they do something against the law. We don't willy-nilly put people in jail for S and giggles. We don't do that here.
So why is
If
there?
someone has a true problem, then we give them the opportunity to try to do things on their own. When it becomes evident that they're unable to, that's when we try to step in. I don't do this out of hate.
Outside of, he, we know that he has a problem, but outside of that, like he has a felony charge, they aren't giving these bond requirements. And this misdemeanor court is giving these bond requirements, when the felony court is not. So,
Can't tell you what the felony court, I want to make sure that he's not using alcohol or drugs.
it has nothing to do with this case.
How do you know that?
Judge, there are facts in this case that do indicate that there were crack pipes recovered from the defendant. And that's most likely why.
How do you know that he's charged with a felony assault? He's charged with interference with emergency request for assistance. How do you know that the drugs and alcohol that are using did not impact this?
Because he was sound asleep. All right, and she stuck a machete through his TV.
Not the
She,
case.
okay, I know, we're not
No,
supposed
I
to
mean,
talk about it. I apologize.
look.
It just feels very wrong.
I know that you see through the eyes of a loving father, and I'm not going to fault you for that. I get it. And I understand that. And I'm sorry. I really am. But I think that the best thing for him now is in a facility that he doesn't have access to drugs or alcohol. And I'm trying to do my best to keep him clean and sober. He tried to fool us now by using a Whizzinator.
This is why he didn't want to come in here. He would rather be run, that's why he didn't want to come back.
Okay, and You can't run forever, Mr. Terrell.
I know. I tell my.
So it's better to man up and get it done now than to run forever and do some irreparable damage by taking something that you kill yourself, right? Because that's invariably what's going to happen. The dope that you're using, you're going to kill yourself. He can barely open his eyes, man. This
Boy, I'm listening to everything you're saying, sir.
You're so high right now, you can
I'm not
barely
high.
open your eyes.
I'm not high at all. Actually, I'm
So-
sober. So, I mean, you can. At this point, I'm already in handcuffs, so it really doesn't fucking matter what I say.
No, he's not. I know. We've been with him for 2 days.
And I'm going
So-
to ask you, just bear with me. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep him clean and sober so he doesn't pick up new cases.
You haven't revoked his bond, is what he's asking.
Yes, I'm revoking his bond. I'm setting it at 20,004 right now. You know, but if you bond him out, that's your choice. But I'm going to continue with the same things that I'm doing. And I'm now going to have him come twice a week to test with me. And the next time he tests positive, and I don't care what it is, the bond is going to end up even higher than it is. And at some point, we're going to address the issue.
Trying to teach
But
him
I'm not going to continue to let you use drugs while you're out there in the free world. That's it. Huh?
Okay, legal nerd alert. The father just made a fascinating argument that actually holds water in a lot of courts. He's saying, my son has a chemical imbalance, and the system refused to treat it, so he's self-medicated with street drugs. From a legal standpoint, this is a classic failure to treat argument. If a judge orders probation but ignores the underlying mental health condition, they're essentially setting the defendant up to fail. Judge Fleischer is picking up on this. He's not dismissing it. He's actually pausing to consider it. That's the mark of a good judge. He's willing to listen to the science, not just the charges.
Yeah. Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to evaluate to see which one is the best one. You know, they have mental health caseloads. They have the first thing that needs to happen is we have to have him evaluate, speak to a clinician. They can tell us which the best path to go forward. They may say he needs intensive outpatient treatment. They may say he needs SADP, which is an inpatient facility. I don't know until we have him evaluated. But understand, I like your son. I want the best for him. I really truly, and he doesn't get it.
No, because we watched on TikTok him being in front of your court, you know, and we're going, what the heck is that doing on TikTok, you know?
I live stream all our proceedings, and that's what we do. So adds transparency. So
I'm gonna have to excuse myself.
Please do.
I'm not helping, I know.
look, you're not making us mad, and I understand how you feel, and I get the loving father. I would be in the same position as you, but I want to keep him clean and sober. That's the bottom line. I've tried to do it the other way. It's not happening, and he's fooling us. So the only recourse I have is this. So if we can set it to your ASAP, hopefully we can have the report back by Friday. At the latest Monday, they will tell us which is the correct course to go, and then we can all sit and talk and decide what to do. You know, at the end of the day, if you want me to just do nothing and
I'd rather you help him.
you know, if you want me to let him go and just
Yeah.
fend for himself, then it's on you.
I'd rather
But
you help.
know this, is that what you guys are doing now, it's not working. He's slowly killing himself, as evidenced by his demeanor, the way he looks. He's killing himself slowly. And before long, he's going to really deteriorate. I've seen it happen all too much. All right.
And Judge, before we end this conversation with this defendant, I've spoken at pretrial about the records that they have about the defendant and what he did today. I'd like to obtain those records and get those provided to defense counsel as well, and provide that to felony. They're willing to provide that to me upon your oral consent to that. Okay? Pretrial, did you hear that? Okay, great. Thank you, Judge.
So getting him in more trouble.
No one's in more trouble. I mean, do you not see what I'm trying to do? If we wanted to put him in more trouble, we charge him with additional offenses.
Isn't that what he's trying to do?
No. No one is, we're not here to punish and enslave and to kill. We're here to help. And sometimes that may require this. Out there, it's not working.
Do I have your word that it's not going to come back?
No, but I don't make the charging decisions. I'm not going to give you any kind of word. I'm going to give you my word that I'm going to try to help him as much as I can. But I need your help with that as well. I need your help with that as well. Look, I don't want to have any discussions until he was with the case, with anything as well. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Just about giving the records to Mr. Haddad. Hold on a second. Until he talks to his lawyer, we shouldn't talk about the case at all. My only concern now is being clean and sober. That's my only concern at this point. Okay? So we're going to take him back. We'll have him TRAS as soon as possible. We can set it for Friday. Hopefully we can have the records back by then as far as what the thing is. And we'll go from there. Okay?
And Judge,
Yasha.
yeah,
What do you got?
when can I come back to follow up on this matter? Can I come back tomorrow?
When can we have him TRAS?
Monday, because he has to be processed today. So, give me
Wait, come on, man.
I can see if somebody can come with a holdover.
What day you say?
I'm just trying to keep this stuff out of evidence, so.
And so let's say we take him in now, he gets processed today, he's in POP tomorrow.
Not talking from.
If
You're
it
going to
doesn't
see
get brought
live
back
stream,
before
you're
tomorrow,
talking
then yes,
about
we'll
part of the
stay there.
case.
Let's do Tuesday, just to be safe and have the report.
Next Tuesday.
If it's back sooner,
Oh, you mean for the report to be back? Oh, okay. But I'm talking the actual evaluation. When do you think? Maybe Wednesday? Friday?
because it has to be processed. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Private issue.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'm gonna try to have him evaluated as quick as possible. Hopefully we can have it done by Friday and the report back by Monday or Tuesday, okay? I'm gonna put him back now. So Yasha, if you'd like, we'll have you call the holdover so you can talk to Mr. Terrell now.
And there it is. The hammer drops. The bond is revoked, and it's set at $20,000. Plus, twice-a-week testing. That is a massive escalation. Here's what's happening legally. Judge Fleischer is signaling that the carrot phase is over. He tried to give this kid chances, but bringing a Whizzinator is a direct slap in the face to the court's authority. He's saying, you don't get to play games in my courtroom.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Judge, I confirm whatever Mr. Terrell just said, about the fact that he needs help. He needs to use his medication. I believe that if he does start using the medication, it will help his situation. I don't think jail time or incarceration is the solution. I really think that he needs help with his medication and some sort of rehab to get out of the situation he is in right now. I am actively working on both cases, the misdemeanor and the felony. I have provided some evidence to the felony prosecutors about the situation, and I'll keep checking back with them. If I have to go every day, I will.
Okay, and I trust that you will, Yasha, but unfortunately, due to him bringing a Whizzinator into the drug testing room to try to, fool us, it's unacceptable. And I'm going to revoke his bond because of it. We're going to keep him. We'll try to have him, TRAS as quick as possible to see how we go forward.
Yes, and let's get him TRAS, and then I will look at the report and I will discuss it with him and his family, okay?
Look, at a minimum, the TRAS will tell us which way they believe is the best course of action. I will leave it to you guys to decide whether you want to do it or not. If you don't want to do it, if you just want to, let him out and fend for himself, it's up to you guys. I will offer my services to you for free. If you want it, it's available to you. If you don't want it, then it's on you guys. Okay?
You need to take pills.
But let's not talk about everything now. Let's just,
See, for me? Judge, did you say
well,
what?
hold on. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I wanna know what,
Yes, Judge.
do you want everything? Is
Yes,
it,
Judge.
why do you want all that?
So, I mean, Judge, that's,
To further charge?
I mean, I'm not gonna personally charge Judge, but I think that the state has a right to know about this if he's violating bond conditions for our purposes. I don't know what it's gonna be used for yet, but I think that the state and defense have a right to have this information, Judge.
Mm, no, no, I'm not, no. I know, I don't want, because I don't want to add further fuel to the fire and damage, you know, I don't think it's fair. I don't, you know.
How is
I
that
don't-
not, Judge? He's violating your conditions and.
And he's going in there now.
I understand, but you don't think that the state has a right to this information?
I don't know. Let me look into it. I'll get back to you on it.
Yes, Judge. And I'm not,
I'll
I
get
don't
back to you.
disrespect the court. I defer to your judgment.
I understand.
I believe that.
Let me talk about it and then I'll get back to
Yes,
you
Judge.
tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it.
You file a written motion.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
Judge, do you want me to stop by tomorrow?
Yes, stop by and we'll talk about it as well. Okay?
Okay, and I will contact Mr. Terrell. Thank you.
Okay.
And that's a wrap from Judge Fleischer's courtroom. Let's recap the legal fallout. The bond is revoked. Bond is set at $20,000. Testing is up to twice a week. And the judge just ordered a full psychological evaluation, TZ, to figure out once and for all if the mental health issues are driving the addiction. Fleischer is walking a tightrope here. He's being compassionate by offering free resources, but he's being incredibly firm by holding the son accountable for the Whizzinator stunt. He's essentially saying, I'll pay for your treatment, but I will not tolerate your lies.